there's no government in Nigeria since 1989 that I've not fought against. When I say 1989, who was our president in 1989? Ibrahim Babangida. In 1993, beyond, it was Abacha. After Abacha, it was Abdul Salam. In 1998, I was arrested. I didn't get the party against him. After that, it was Obasanjo. After Obasanjo was Yaradua. But the problem, my brother, is that a lot of people who are on social media today, they are 20 years old and above. They cannot understand my politics. They can. And I'm not saying that to denigrate them. If you were born in 1999, you cannot understand a guy who was fighting in 1990, 1991, and 1992. So they are children of democracy. When we say children of democracy, a lot of people on social media and people who are driving the worldwide content that you see today, they were born in 1999 or 1998. They don't know Sowore'S, they don't understand Sowore'S, they don't do research. And unfortunately, there is no history in our schools to teach anybody who did what. So we just, whatever they represent or represent, they represent in their narratives are based on what they hear frequently the most. So, and recently some of it is driven by giveaways. So they say, there are people who pay people online to say, go attack Sowore'S, give you 20,000, 5 of you, and 2,000 people will register to get 20,000 naira in 5 days. And they will go and say, Sowore'S, given by a giveaway culture. The same people are giving them giveaways by people who put them in the condition they are in today. But I'm not complaining, but it's our reality.
I
don't have it in earpiece, unfortunately. I can't afford one because I'm in Abuja these days. And I'm not working. I spent 5 months in detention and I'm 8 months out of detention. I've no job. They froze all my accounts. Can't afford an earpiece. I use an iPhone. To get an earpiece for iPhone, it's a little expensive. So just accept my apologies.
So, right now, you whole let because the government has grounded him, so he can afford it.
You see, there's a difference between the government grounding me and me feeling grounded. I don't feel grounded. I'm
But the
living
government,
the best way I can. But the physical reality, the pragmatic reality is that I can afford a lot of things. As I would if I was living in the US. If you told me that we have a show in the US, I would drive to an Apple store nearby. I can buy an iPhone on credit and I'll be fine. But here, even if I go and buy an iPhone, I can't be sure that it's the right one or original. So it's what it is. It's the way it is.
I understand. And I agree. Mr. Sowore'S, why revolution now? Revolution now. That led you. That created a war on social media. That Sowore'S tried the country, wanted to cause chaos, war. What is the background to this revolution now? That's very important.
A year ago, when revolution now started, people were running around with dictionaries. What's the meaning of revolution? What's the meaning of revolution? Now, what does Sowore'S want? Does he want to overthrow the government? And it's the same thing with the guys who arrested me. They have no idea what it means to talk about the revolution. But when eventually we sat down and had what we call an interview, according to them, which is an interview. And I'll say that again here is that any system of oppression that keeps you in a state of asphyxiation, that is, just like you can't breathe, you are entitled to remove that system. You are entitled to fight against that system, and that system gives you breathing space. That's what revolution now is about. I am not one of the people who is trying to define revolution to people. I don't have the time for it. I'm just saying that, hey, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades, are you happy with the system? And the system giving you the ability to fulfill your potential, and everybody says no. So we want to change it. That's what revolution now is about. I've never denied it. If that leads to an end to oppression, an end to a regime of tyranny, and an end to an ignoble system, all I'm for it. You can define it whichever way you want. All I'm just saying is that if you're not afraid, you gotta get the knees of the system off your neck before it kills you. That's what revolution now is about. The rhetoric and the gymnastics around it is none of my business. I'm very clear about what I'm saying. It's the same way I felt and demonstrated when I was feeling union leader and we had military rule. So we don't need military rule, and we fought for several years before it was discredited and abandoned and discarded. You know, when Obasanjo was asking for third term, we said we don't want third term. We fought against it until it was discarded, abandoned, and and ended. When Yaradua was sick and there was his family was manipulating the process, we said we don't want it. We need a president that is real. We fought against it and it was discarded after it was discredited and abandoned. So the same thing with Goodluck Jonathan in 2000. And now Buhari has come. He's not able to fulfill the demands and the desires, of the people of Nigeria. And people are saying, we're tired of it. When you're tired of something, what do you do to it? You get rid of it. That's what revolution now is about. The rest of the semantics, the rhetoric, I don't really worry about that because my position has been explained to even the security agencies that they are detaining me for 5 months. I didn't change my position for 1 day throughout my detention.
So let's do this thing. Mr. Sowore, Nigeria's foreign loan profile is on the increase. The foreign loan profile is on the increase. What's your opinion on that? How do you think that's actually contributing to the growth of the economy?
Don't waste your time about splitting here. No need. Nigeria's loan problems, economic problems, political problems, they're all the same. Just let's be very clear. As long as you have a system or a regime of injustice, of incompetence and wickedness in place, it will saddle you and your children with unforeseen loans. It will saddle you with depression. It will saddle you with problems that you can never overcome over your lifetime. Loan is just one of it. I'm not after issues. We are after the system. The system is the problem. It's not loans alone. Loans are just loans. It's just one of the saddling of Nigeria with loans. It's just one of the things that Nigeria has to deal with. What about security, insecurity? What about electricity? What about unemployment? All these things combined together makes life unbearable for Nigerians. So Nigeria is borrowing money to, the loans that they are borrowing now. Nobody will tell you the interest rates because Nigeria is a deadbeat nation. What it means for those of you who live in America is that if you go to a credit card company today and you want to take a credit card, they will look at your credit report. If it's bad, you get the highest possible interest rate, 27%, 28% sometimes. If it's good, they can give you for 0% for a year, and then it will be 3% after that. That's how Nigeria is deadbeat. I don't even want to imagine the interest rate for Nigerians, the loans that Nigerians are taking, Nigerian state is taking now. But what I can tell you without being a prophet is that for every $1 billion we take, it will take us 40 years to recover. Yes, 40 years in terms of interest rates. And you know this, you know how the calculation of interest rate is done when you're dead. Nigeria is definitely in that column. It's in the deadbeat column. It's like a father who doesn't pay his child support. It's like a worker who doesn't pay his credit cards, interest rates. It's like a tenant that doesn't pay his rent. You can be guaranteed that one day they will kick out of the house.
So the last revolution now protest in Nigeria. Did you participate? Did you lead?
So revolution now has reached a point where it's not about Sowore'S, it's about the people. And the question you should be asking is, how do you participate in a protest these days? I can ask you the same question. Did you participate? Your answer will be probably naturally, I'm not in Nigeria, I didn't participate. But wherever you are, if you subscribe to the idea of revolution now, you have participated. If you tweeted something with tweets, you participated. If you invite people, if you contributed, you participated. So it's a question of what is the meaning of participation when it comes to the organic outrage against the incompetence, wickedness of our leaders in Nigeria. A lot of people participated who could not do it physically. And these days, as you know, people can participate in a protest without leaving their house. It's called virtual protesting. So you can protest on Zoom without leaving your house. So that's how I will address that, because I know it's a technical question on my end. But definitely participated.
And one more thing, sir. Looking at the rate of killing in Nigeria, let's now look at the Southern Cardinal. The killing in Southern Cardinal has been more than 40 years now, and yet the Nigerian military have not been able to resolve that. We are not going to make allegations. I don't want any allegations against anybody. But as the national figure that you are, can you tell us, can you educate us? Because you are one of the most established investigative journalists in Nigeria. Can you educate us on the trend? Everybody is trying to figure this out.
The point to make is not to trivialize the killings in Nigeria to reduce it to Southern Cardinal. And I've always said this. There are killings going on in Zamfara and Sokoto in Niger State and Katsina as well. In fact, more people are getting killed in Katsina, which is Buhari's home state, than anywhere right now. So the problem is that why are these killings happening? It's because the commander-in-chief of the armed forces is not in charge of the armed forces. Right? And that's supposedly the he doesn't know what he's doing. The man has dementia, he doesn't have control over anything. They just use him as an apparition. He's like an effigy. They put him out there in front of everybody to convince the country that he's not dead. He doesn't control anything. And then he has minions. When I say minions, cronies and political associates who believe, in this case, in the Kaduna governor, who believes that the only way to make political progress is to rally and support people who have this superiority complex. and these are the Fulanis. Yes, he has said it even in his speech in the last few years that if you kill a Fulani man, you are going to dead and even killed back. So, people that are boundary issues that they capitalize upon, but they look the other way because the only way to get popular in northern Nigeria today is to make an average northerner. When I say northerner, the people that they know the population that they are creating, to feel like they're in control of Nigeria. There's a section of Nigeria here in the north that feels like white people in the US. They feel like they're superior to everybody, and everybody else in the country is inferior to them. And this is what is fueling the agitation for division in the country. Because a lot of people feel like, how can we continue to live as second-hand citizens? And this takes third hand because, well, the people to whom you live as a second-hand citizen are whites, multinational corporations, and then your own countrymen treat you the same way, trash. So it makes you feel like, why don't you just break up this system so that it can have a breathing space? That's why you see security agencies that are largely in the hands of operatives of the nepotistic regime of Buhari these days, looking the other way because they're like racists. They're like the racist police in the US who doesn't feel it's wrong to kill black people. So without getting rid of them, this will continue to happen. But the Southern Kaduna Plateau Benue issues have far further implications that has been resolved. But the current regime and the millions are not interested in looking at the resolution of the issue because it doesn't suit the agenda of the part of the country that they pander to. It's just like Trump in the US when he says racist, anti-immigrant things. He rallies his base. The guys in Nigeria who have a base, they have a base, and especially the Buhari regime, they have a base, and they feed raw meat to the base from time to time, so that's to keep them happy.
Mr. Sowore, are you contesting?
I'm contesting now, but what I'm contesting for is not the election that you think. I'm contesting for freedom. I want to be able to live. That has to be resolved first before we start thinking about.
So we shouldn't expect Sowore for the presidency in 2023.
We should expect the Sowore'S presidency in 2023. Does that resolve your question? But you can't do it.
You ran one of the best campaigns in the history of Nigeria. A real campaign discussing issues.
Yeah, but I ran fantastic. I don't want to go in the direction of hyperbole. I'm sure other people have run great campaigns, but I did, transparently run a hectic campaign, an issue-based campaign that, in my view, has been some of the best in this country. Nobody has ever traveled as far as I did. Even Shivabakemi Awolowo, who I heard ran a lot of great campaigns, had a helicopter. I didn't have, and I went to more places than he could, or he probably had done. So, yes, I agree with you on that note that it was an amazing campaign, and I cannot do without being grateful to people that made it happen, especially our brothers and sisters in diaspora who kept supporting that energy that we saw in 2018 and 2019 across the world. I went as far as Australia, South Africa, I went to Spain, Italy, the United Kingdom, I went to Canada, several cities in Canada, the US. I can't even tell you how many cities I went. Everywhere there was Nigerian, and I tried to go to. At home, I did, out of 36 states, I did 35 of the states. Out of 37, I did 35 of the states. The only state missing Actually, three state missing is Borno, I think Yobe, and Ebonyi. They were the only three states that didn't go to Nigeria. So the capital state. It was amazing. It was blistering, and it opened my eyes to what you now call Nigeria. You know, I went around everywhere. It was amazing, but there was no one who listened to the campaign who weren't convinced that we had a solution. But instead of going for the solution, they went for the problem. Unfortunately.
And one final question, because I know you have to close down very soon again. So let me ask you, why did some youths of Nigeria not vote for Sowore, not vote for Tokwe, and not vote for Fela? Why?
See, everything you see that is like everything you see in Nigeria today has been planned for by leaders. The kind of youth you have today have been planned over the last 30 years. They have been planning in the education system, in employment, in health to produce complacent youth. It's like, you know, the way agriculturists or scientists produce hybrid products in the agricultural sector. So if you want the corn to be a tall corn that produces all kinds of products, you just hybridize them. So our youth have been hybridized with all kinds of ideas. Some of it is greed, sex, alcohol, I would say music of a certain kind. They just keep mixing it together. They have an idea of how to manipulate the mind of an average youth. So they keep mixing it together. At the point they will mix it with European soccer, football, as we call it at home. And when that is not working, they mix it with Big Brother Ninja. At the end of the day, it's just like in those days in the US where you used to have young people who got paralyzed by coffee and the internet. I mean, coffee and computer, as we used to call it. And they didn't know what it was until they discovered themselves and start charting a new political future for themselves that brought a resurgence in activism in the US, the Black Lives Matter, the Bernie Sanders campaign. Except we have that. But here, man, it is a social experiment and it's been very successful. If you go to Facebook today or Twitter, it is those young people who are suffering the most that defends the rich people who are their enemies. It's like I said, it's powerful social experimentation that's worked very well in their favor. But our job, and we've been trying to do this, is to turn all of that around.
Mr. Sowore, are you a Malian?
Mali, no. The reason why I'm not a Malian is that Naira Mali has little or no social consciousness, in my view. I feel like Naira Mali will come and figure out after a while. You see, for you to have social consciousness social consciousness has nothing to do with not wearing belt or bra, attacking your friends. It has to do, there's a guy in the US who was like Naira Marley. I can't remember his name now. And he was a musician who sang revolutionary songs. I think Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan. You can Google Bob Dylan. But when they asked him, Bob Dylan, so you're singing all these songs to move people to the barricades, but we can't find you. He said, well, I'm not a revolutionary, I'm just singing, and I hope it helps. And Bob Dylan today is still alive, but he doesn't have that social political relevance that his songs promoted had he also had physical or mental social political consciousness that's Naira Marley, no doubt, has talent, but I doubt his social consciousness to the point that it's just a matter of time. Except it changes, it's So I can't call myself a Malian. It would be an insult upon my injury already to call myself a Malian. I wear it bad, no doubt. And I don't have the social, political, and religious confusion that Naira Marley represents. Actually, when I was released from detention, I tried to reach out to him. And I was like, maybe this guy has, because he has a mannerism. He's like fella. But when you look at the political content of Naira Marley, it's empty. He doesn't. And what will happen in Nigeria is that you just pay him off. Before Naira Marley, Olamide used to have Bado boys. Everybody's like a Bado and that. They cut people out because at the end of the day, people look at it. How does it benefit me? How does it advance my progress, social politically? And when you don't find it, you're losing it gradually. And one day, Naira Marley will be like a fish washed off of the sea on the sand. On the Sunday, and that'll be the end of it. But I wish it does because I actually like him. I just haven't found the spark, that is required. So when I hear pastors calling themselves Malians, like, these pastors are confused.
And before you go, what's your relationship with Kanu?
I met him before I was arrested. Kanu is an enigma. I'm a lover of any kind of social movement at all. But as I've explained, and some of the people don't like to hear it, there's a lot more than being an enigma than being a leader. He's an enigma, and he's becoming a leader. Because I asked him a lot of questions when we met. But the Biafran project needs a lot more work than what we see now. Because the Biafran project has more enemies than any other project in Nigeria. Everybody doesn't want the Biafran project to succeed, including a lot of people in the southeast. So, but what I have to love about him, anybody that can galvanize a majority or the downtrodden to come together to believe in a cause, that person, I don't underrate them at all. So that's why I'm trying to find him any day. But does it need a lot of social, physical engineering, of course? For example, like I said, you don't need to be throwing tantrums at people, which he fixed recently by saying don't have to show about people. So it's not necessary. And you don't need to demonize other oppressed people. There's no reason if you're fighting against oppression, you can't be saying that other oppressed people, whether it is in Hausa, Yoruba, or Ibibioni, or Ijo, those are your natural consequences. But when you start telling them that you don't believe in them, or you start attacking their physical looks, the color of their teeth, the yellow teeth, tomorrow I can't afford to brush my teeth and I don't have a dentist. So you don't need to be reminding me that I'm stupid. So when you start saying, Hausa, Megoro, you don't need all that. There needs to be better level of maturity than is happening now. And that has to do with some of the people who are running the campaign. But overall, oh my God, I give Kanu thumbs up for doing what he's doing. And in some ways, everybody needs to do the galvanization of all the oppressed, fight against the oppressors like he's doing. So in that regard, this guy's my brother, right? That one comes naturally. If you're fighting oppression, you organize. You come to me naturally as a person I can love and trust.
Mr. Sowore, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for creating time. When you get back to where we both can meet, we'll talk better. We'll do a video and bring it. We struggle with the audio. Thank you so much.
Aluta continua victoria sata. Take it back. Revolution now. the mic from here.
Thank you. Thank you for my why AAC, why he was incarcerated. What have you? It will address that issue. It will address that issue. And I saw Adebola Ajaguna. I'm bringing someone online right now. Yeah, they jammed it. That's it. That's just the summary. They jammed the airwaves. Or someone jammed it. I wouldn't want to say they jammed, but someone jammed it. I know it. I've been doing this for a while, so I know when things are not right. I know when there is a game. Maybe he doesn't even know they did that too. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he didn't even know they did that. I wouldn't know what happened on that side. Yeah, I know you keep saying that. Yeah. Feedback, comment from one or two people. That's the handbook of Femi Adesina. They did it. We tried about 4 times before we could even get him. Yeah. They did, it's possible. That's very possible. So there's nothing. They failed. So, fellas, I think I'm trying to bring 1 or 2 people online for comment about Nigeria. No insult, just what you feel about this country. Chidi Cadet, Nwanyawu, are you there, please? Chidi. Chidi Cadet, Nwanyawu, I'm inviting you. Can you? Chidi Cadet. How are you, bro?
Yes.
Are you there, please?
I am here.
You see the difference?
Give me 1 second. Let me mount my my phone so I can. I didn't know I was gonna come live, but well, you gotta be prepared in season and out of season, I guess. So.
Sure do.
Okay, so yes, we can do this. If you can see me.
I can see you. You have a white shirt on, a white babariga, and a revolutionary cap on you.
Yeah, I have a yes. Okay, actually, what do you want? You want us to talk about revolution now, so I can be. You want to
Yes,
talk
I
about
want to
revolution
talk about
now?
revolution now.
All of the above.
Where are you speaking from? Where are you speaking from, Chidi?
I'm in Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
So what
I'm
do
in
you want
Dallas,
to talk
Texas.
about?
Okay, what's your take on revolution now? What's your take on Nigeria? An holistic overview, an holistic review of the country Nigeria in 2 minutes.
My view of the failed state called Nigeria is that the state is failed, and there's reason for a total overhaul. Okay, and right now there's absolutely no system, there's absolutely no amount of restructuring, there's absolutely no amount of rejigging that can fix that country. As an architect, as a builder, as a contractor, I can speak to you from the analogy of building, and I know very well that once there is a problem with the foundation of a building, you can't do anything about the cracks you're seeing, about the walls falling. You're trying to repaint it. That's all cosmetic. You have to go back to the foundation and fix the building. Okay, and so since we have a faulty foundation, except you start all over again, there is nothing, there's no remedy, there's no salvation for the country.
That's actually the very basis of Nigerian problem. From my experience, from my studies, and from my little experience as a Nigerian, I think that's just it. It's a failed. We don't have any reason to lie. You can't sugarcoat it. It's failed. It's failed. But now
let me say something, Itunu, before we go on. I really want to apologize to you. I was frustrated with that sound, but I can see now that it wasn't your fault. I kept saying do this, do that, but I must apologize. I see now that it's not your fault. Yeah,
I think they jammed the network.
Yeah, it was from Sowore'S side. It's okay. He's used to it. Sometimes when I'm interviewing him, same thing happens.
Yeah. Let me just put this out to you. Do you really think the current, even the youth system is messed up in Nigeria? Even the youth system. So now if we are talking about a salvation, a remedy, we're talking about recreating a nation out of Nigeria. Yeah. You really, I believe in the project Nigeria, because look at this now. Chidi, you are from the east of Nigeria. You have your cousins living in Lagos.
Yeah.
They are Lagos boys.
Okay.
I'm from the west. I have my cousins, they schooled in Maiduguri.
Yeah.
They call them northern boys.
Yeah.
They speak Pidgin instead of Yoruba, which is our lingua franca. So if we are talking about a restart of that country, from what angle does it come from? We cannot rely on the politicians that we currently have. They can't do nothing for us anymore.
Yeah.
But the current youth system that are now finding their ways into politics, they are as corrupt as the fathers and the mothers that we are trying to get out of the system.
Okay, let me give you my own view. You see, I'm a member of Revolution Now movement. I'm a member of the African Action Congress. I'm a diehard Omoyele Sowore fan. I'm a Take It Back movement person, but I'm also a diehard Biafran. And I believe in the Biafran agitation. And that's where people raise an eyebrow, but how can you be in this and how can you be in that? Let me tell you why. I'm an unapologetic Igbo man. I know the experience of the Igbo man. I understand where he's coming from. They say he who wears the shoe knows where it pains. I ran for governorship of my state, so I talk based on authority. Now, you see, let me explain this, and this will help a lot of people. When you see someone like Omoyele Sowore and Revolution Now movement trying to tackle the government of the day, they are trying to say that, just like you said now, that the guy in Damaturu, the guy in Ogun State, the guy in Enugu, everybody is being affected by these hopeless leaders. So he's tackling them because he feels that except these people are neutralized, nothing that you're looking for can be achieved. So for the people that are agitating for Biafra, by all means, let them keep saying it, because long before they started agitating for Biafra, even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it was there doing demonstrations on the streets of UK, trying to campaign against what was happening in Nigeria, trying to tell trying to tell them, let's do these things this way, let's do things that way. But when they refuse, it's like it's a position of rebellion. You're like, okay, if it is like that, I don't want to do it again. I don't care about what you're doing. All I want is give me my whole. Let me tell you something. You think if the federal government of Nigeria was to say right now, let us build a seaport and actually begin to do it, because Nigeria has enough money to build a seaport in 1 month. If Nigeria was to build a seaport in 1 month, so that the Onitsha businessman who has to go to Lagos to clear his container can just try to...
From Imo, from Lokoja to go to Lagos.
You understand? Why? You think if the poor chap who is sitting down on a mud earth to attend school in Sapele, if he had schools that were equivalent to the schools that are attended by the children of Buhari and Dangote, you think there will be call for Biafra? So let them keep agitating. Meanwhile, let everybody keep putting pressure, because Omoyele Sowore will always tell you that it is when because nobody will give you this power on a platter of gold. So by whichever way possible, when we wrench this power out of these people, then we will sit down and look at how we even got to answer that name Nigeria. Which constitution are we even using in the first place? Look, where are you coming from? Where am I coming from? Can we stay together? So it will now be based on what we decide for ourselves. If at the end of the decision, we now decide that, look, the best way is for us to stay in each other's place and maybe have something tying us together, because whether you like it or not, by virtue of our association, we've had intermarriages, we have people building. So we find that common front, but it has to be something that is jointly decided, not the way it is established or the way we're going about it now. So I don't know if I've been able to make a point or how.
You've actually see. You have just endorsed my thought. Because look at me. It takes me 5 years to come into the US to become a citizen of the United States. It takes 5 years or so to become a citizen of Canada.
No, it takes 3 years. It takes
3 years in Canada. Look at it.
Yes.
Yet in our country, in a place where, hey, Dr. Chidi, where are you from? I'm a Nigerian.
Yeah.
To know where are you from? I'm a Nigerian. But I still see you as an Easterner in your country. There is a family here that produced a governor in Texas, and the same family, siblings. Another one became a governor in Florida. But in Nigeria, we still say, hey, it's not from the East. It's not from Abia. It's from Imo. It's not from Lagos. It's from Oyo. It's not from Oyo. It's from Ogun State. That's our country.
Because it is the Fulani Caliphate. I hope you allow such kind of talk on your program.
No, you're free. Make it big. Make it big.
They are the ones. They are the ones that are causing the problem. They messed with the help of the British. Thanks to a lot of people, including Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we can now open up. They stopped us from learning history. When you hear, that's why Omoyele Sowore and Nnamdi Kanu are my heroes. They are my champions when it comes to Nigerian revolutionary movement. They have opened our eyes. These guys removed history from our schools. They didn't allow us to understand where we are coming from, because there are some people that we don't have anything in common, but you forced us, you welded us, you amalgamated us against see, my brother, like every other place, you allow free trade, free association. There's a place you came from. You can't deny it. There's a place I came from. Let us meet. Let us have healthy competition. If my son sees your daughter and likes them, let them marry each other by natural means. That's how things operate in the world. But when I come and I tell you I just tell you, forget about where you came from. This is who you are. You like this person. This person likes you by force. Your daughter likes this person.
By force.
By force. Then there'll be problem. That's why we have the problem. Because when the center, remember what Chinua says, that when the arrow of God is no longer at ease, things fall apart. The center cannot hold. There is a problem with our center. And as long as that center is in disunity, all man to your tents, O Israel. So some of us will keep fighting, trying to hold that center together. What we are only doing is holding the center together till that revolution happens.
So we can have a conversation.
Of course, and you know it very well And that's what some people don't understand. Look at the George Floyd effect. They've been doing all they've been doing for so many years. When the time was ripe, that was a revolution.
Yeah.
Now in Nigeria, whether you are shouting Biafra, whether you are shouting Oduduwa, whether you are shouting One Nigeria, we have one common enemy, and we are all waiting for that. Whether it's El Sasaki and his people, it don't do us. The day, and that revolution is coming. It is coming. When it happens, that gunpowder, that's why they are fastening what they are doing. That's why they are pushing their footmen to the east, to the west, everywhere, arming them, because they know time is up. When that time is up and this revolution happens, we will forget about where we came from. We'll just go for these guys. When we take them out of the way, we'll take back our land, and they will begin to enjoy it.
But look at something before you go, Dr. Chidi. Look at this one before you go. I was talking to a friend of mine who said, I don't know what these Hausa guys are doing. And I said, hey, bro, come. The guy in Lagos State that has enslaved Lagosians, is he a northerner? The guy in Abia that has enslaved Abia, is he a northerner? The guy in Port Harcourt that has enslaved Ikwere, Undoni, Kalabari, Ijo people. Let me just use the just south.
I understand.
The one that has enslaved Bauchi and Kano, are they from the south? No, they're not. They are men. They are our own people.
I will explain something to you when you finish.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
So, we know the people. Let me talk for my place. We know the Igbo men who have eaten the money for the expressway. We know the Igbo men who have eaten the money for the bridge. We know all of them, but guess what? We are helpless against these people because they are getting protection from the federal government. It is still the same thing. If you try to go and to stop your senator and ask him a question, the mobile policemen who are attached to him, who are backed by the federal government, they will shoot you.
You're right.
At the end of the day, if that state power, if that power, those people, the power of state is not that corrupt, wicked power of state, which is headed by the Fulani people, if they are not in authority and aiding these people, then we will move them out of the way. We know what, we are helpless. We are helpless because the powers that be, their influence reaches right down to the councillor. So that's why we're in trouble. Let me tell you something. You see, I'm not carried away by the NDDC and all of those things. No, it's a distraction. They want us to focus. They want to show us that it is Akpabio. It is who didn't they know before. You think are they not the ones jailing people? If they don't want these people to do what they are doing, they will jail them. Yeah. Do you know if you hear that 40 billion blah 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 blah, do you know the percentage of that money that has been eaten by the person who gave that contract? Do you know the real people chopping the money? You think it's these people that are coming to face panel? No, nah. The real people chopping the money are not talking. How much are we discussing in the NNPC? Go see. There was
a revelation in Lagos State, and I'll say this. If you think I'm lying, go ahead and check it out.
Yeah.
Between 2007 and so, the Lagos State rail track was awarded.
Yeah.
$5.something billion US. And eventually, a guy was contested to be the governor of Lagos State, researched, and went to the website of the company handling that contract, found that the contract was awarded for $198 million as against $5.4 billion. Look at the difference.
Mm-hmm.
These are Yoruba people. These are not Northerners.
See, there's something that Sowore'S said, and he is correct. Sowore'S was saying, look, for people who are agitating for Biafra, Oduduwa, and all of these things, they should bear in mind that the people who are causing, there will still be people that will cause problem in Biafra. There will still be people that are, but let me tell you something. Whether it be through Biafra or through another means, power is supposed, democracy is power by power of the people, by the people, for the people, something like that. Our problem is that this power is not in the hands of the people. You see all these politicians, they know now, all the people that hate money, all of them, we will so deal with all of them. Wait now, we let the power come. Everybody will be made to pay. But the reason why they too will sabotage your effort is that they know that the day power will be transferred to the hands of the people. Oh God. That day you will see now. You will see. So the problem is this. These people, they'll be bad people are bad people anyway. I don't care whether you're Yoruba, Igbo, Shekiri, Tivu, Juku, whatever. Bad people are bad people everywhere. But the people who are standing behind them, the people that are giving them the strength, the people that are giving them the effort and the boldness to do what they are doing is the people at the head. They know these things. The people at the head, and by extension, even those people at the head, they have other people. And people say that, you see that bird that is dancing in the street, there is something beating the drums for it in the forest. You see even those people at the head, the Nigerian government, the federal government, they still have their foreign allies that are empowering them. Britain is there now. They are accomplices. They are the ones aiding the Fulani cabal. They know what they're doing. You think if Britain is not, look at the oil company. See, Nigeria's system, man, the thing is so complicated, but one day, as we continue to mobilize the people, as we continue to sensitize the people, as people like all the activists keep doing what they're doing, Moyele Sowore, and Nnamdi Kanu, people like you're doing a great job. I'm doing a great job. We just have to keep on pushing. The people I hate that I don't want to see is the stupid guy who is on the internet busy attacking me and attacking you and attacking the people that are even doing something. You're a jobless human being. Go and use that data and do something, say something. Turn to the people who attack. If all of us put that pressure, look, is it not in Lebanon when their people rose up? You see what happened?
Yeah.
You see? These other countries too in Africa, that their people have continued to resist them. That's what we're waiting for.
Look at the Arab. I think it was the fear of the Arab Spring. Let me just tell you that. It was the fear of the repetition of the Arab Spring that made the government jump on Sowore. Because they knew what he was doing.
No, we know. Can you imagine? And that is a very shameful thing. Omoyele Sowore came. He had even finished his money after election. Let me tell you a secret, as I'll do on my show. Don't tell anybody. Sowore didn't have money when he came to do revolution now.
I met him in Dallas. I met him in Dallas.
So he only came with paint and he sprayed revolution on the wall. He got the whole military. They were spraying. They shot him down. They arrested him. They were fighting. He didn't buy one gun. Do you know, we didn't even have money to print posters.
I know.
Can you imagine that? I wish people understood the power that they have. Just by his boldness, just by confronting and saying, I will see a whole Nigerian army, a whole Nigerian SS, or they shut the whole country down just because somebody talked. One person. Well, you can imagine if you duplicated one person. He came. It was so funny. There was, people said they were not going to support him. They were not going to. He didn't raise money. He didn't do anything. There was no poster. I say for where bring paint. He was right. He saw they were writing revolution now on the wall because there was no money to even buy the flyers and the posters. And that is what sent the government so scared. They were now analyzing. Revolution, not revolution. He met with Nnamdi Kanu. Israel is going to supply ammunition. US will supply Sowore, while Israel will supply Nnamdi Kanu, and then they come and bomb Nigeria.
It's just a matter of what my people would say. That I'll say this in Yoruba and I'll interpret it. Meaning that if you have nothing to be ashamed of, if you have nothing to be scared of, when they wake you up, you don't become jittery.
No.
These guys have a lot of things. Look at this. Look at it. They have a lot of things. I believe they have a lot of things to hide from us. And when you raise your, you can imagine Nigeria government is now so afraid of anything. Now they monitor. Now they monitor what you post on social media. Now
Everything now.
They monitor now for even abusing the president and the governor and the senator in Nigeria. There is a rule that will punish you. In the United States, someone removed his shoe without the president. In the United States, almighty United States. In Canada, your president or the prime minister went on a trip on a government fund. He has to pay back. That is accountability. These guys are not accountable to anything.
Accountable to what? See, we would dismantle, if it doesn't happen now, but it will happen. Dole. That system will be dismantled. See, some people will not understand it. Shebi, today we are commemorating African Action Congress. That's what I have here, AAC. And we're a political party. But we're not politicians. We're not regular politicians.
Not desperados.
See, no, we're not regular. We are activists. We came to party. It's just that they told us you can't participate until you register party. Then we went and registered party. That's how we got into politics. We set out a Take It Back movement. We are not a political party. It was Sowore was talking and we said, look, Sowore needs to talk. Okay, let's put him in one political party. But when we looked at the political parties, they were all stinking. And then we went ahead and registered African Action Congress. And when we came, and they were yapping us, they say, if you people are serious, come back to Nigeria, come and participate. When we came and we saw the rottenness, that's why after participating, Sowore now called for a revolution, so that, look, this thing, it's not working. It's only if you tear it down and start again. But I'm telling you the truth. You see, this election of 2023, we are standing by as a political party and watching what is happening. But do I trust that election? My mind is not even on that election at all, because how can you be hoping on an election where they've already written the results? You understand? That's why my emphasis is not on election. My emphasis is on, unless you show me an electoral system that is sanitized, unless you show me a credible electoral system, there is no way. It's like a done deal. It's like, what do you call it, a failure on arrival or whatever. Dead on arrival. Dead on arrival for any election that we are thinking about. You know, look at, you think they don't know what they're doing? They want to keep Sowore till they are scared of him. They're scared of everybody. They're just scared. Look at, you lock somebody up for talking. Can you imagine? They wrote about Minister of that Lion Mohammed. He locked somebody up. Sowore'S Sahara Reporters writes about the AGF. He says he's going to do this and do that and do. Man, see, leave that matter. All those people, they are going to. One day, I'll keep saying it. We will stay like this. All of us that are noisemakers, we will stay like this and we'll be making noise and we'll be shouting and we'll be celebrating about all of these people. We'll be taking pictures. Maybe we'll be throwing them inside dustbin that day, like that.
Hello, Dr. Chidi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming online.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you, let's be touch.
Thank you very much, my brother. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shina Toyebi, are you there? Shina Toyebi, are you there? Please drop a comment if you are there. Shina Toyebi. Sorry. Shina Toyebi. Hi, host. Oju. Dr. Jibola Fabusuyi. Are you there? Dr. Fabusuyi. I'm trying to connect you. We've been having some very explosive conversation today. Dr. Fabusuyi. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, my friend. How are you?
Good. I'm doing very good.
Well, this is abrupt. I hope I'm not going to. I hope I will be able to satisfy whatever rules and and laws you set for the program. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very fine. I want on the, you know why I brought you home?
Yes, please.
The generation is between the old and the young. And with your experience in the academy.
Could you come again?
I said, you are picked between the old and the young. And with your experience as a university professor.
Yeah.
What is your take on the current Nigeria? You can be from education, you can be from youth system, you can be from civil service. What is your take?
So, the little I know is that the discourse about the Nigerian state now is, is like twofold. Okay, so there is a conflict between people who hold two opposing arguments, and it's just a disagreement. They are saying almost the same thing, but they don't approach it the same way. I'll give you an example. So there are the patriots who themselves do not seek power. All right? What they desire is just a change in the polity. It's just a change in the governance. It's just a change in how they are just disgusted with the fact that Nigeria and Nigerians are there only to feed the political elites. That is clear. Everybody knows that. All right? That is why when, several years ago, when the former governor of CBN was saying that like 1/4 of the, of the budget every year is being spent on the legislatures alone. Well, that's an exaggeration, but we know that we are just there as Nigerians. We are just there to feed the politicians. While the politicians hand out, they just give us handouts. Now, the other side of the argument is also very strong. Maybe is even more passionate, than the first one. And that's the argument that, you know what? The structure that put us together in the first place is not sustainable. That we did not even decide to become a country in the first place. It was other people, it was the Great Britain that decided to put us together. And so, since we did not agree with anybody to become Nigerians, to become a sovereign state, why don't you allow us now, those of us that know ourselves as nations within Nigeria, let us go back to what we were before. All right, we can say that we're not really the republic before, but we had our government, we have our governing system. Now, those are the two opposing arguments. And there is no agreement. I said they are saying the same thing. It does not look so, but I will explain what I say, why I mean that. So the people who are pushing the first part of the narrative that said, you know what, we can still stay together. All we need.
Hello?
I'm going to re-add
Yeah.
Okay.
So sorry, it's because of the spontaneity of your call. So I didn't buy any call from my phone. So we have to we have to allow that. So what I was saying is that none of them is wrong. none of these two opposing arguments is wrong. And I don't know whether you have realized it. It is possible that in Nigeria, two people are saying completely different things, and both of them will be wrong. I mean, both of them will be right.
Yeah.
Which is funny. But anyway, let's go back to the issue. Now, those who are saying that we had no structure in the first place, that we want to restructure, you think they are wrong? Of course, they are not wrong. Now, if we say that, let's go to the first, the people in the first group of that argument who say that, you know what, we can stay together. All we need to do is to force the system to be more responsive to the citizens, to the citizenry, in such a way that we will not, as citizens, be spending all our taxes, all our money, and all our resources to feeding the elected officials. The question is, what is going to push such a discourse? What is going to push such a change? Because look, there is a constitution in Nigeria that does not allow such a discourse to even take place. Let me tell you something. There have been constitutional conferences ever since 1960. The last one, 2014, that was put up by Jonathan. There is a lot of arguments against that sitting, against that, attempt. And the people who are destroying such an attempt are the people in power today. They are the APC today. Go and check the record. Before APC or CPC or AMPP, whatever they may be, before they came into power, go and listen to what they were saying before. Go and listen to the speeches of the vice president today. What he was saying is that if Nigeria is not restructured, Nigeria cannot move forward. What happened to him today, sir? Did he die? That is what I'm saying. Now, go back to that document at the end of that discussion. That document presents things that will make this country better. However, the president will not even bother to open it because they said that the Constitution, what made up the people that constituted the sitting of that talk, they are people that were handpicked by the government at that time. Yes, they can be saying that, well, if the president at that time was serious, he should have put it forward to the National Assembly, who could have worked on it. Okay, we agree. Take a look at that document first. If that document has, any recommendation for the country, remove it. But let's take a look at it first. Let me tell you about some things in that conference. You said now that, yes, I'm a university teacher, I'm a university lecturer, yet I am interested in this. Yes, it is true. I have always been interested in talks that will make my country better. I was following that discussion every day as if I had no job. I know the content of that document. One of the contents of that document is that the people in the National Assembly would not be the amount they are earning today. They will not be paid full time anymore. They will be paid part-time because they are doing part-time job. They are not working 9 to 5. Okay, this is American. That's American. They are not working 8 to 4. Why are they earning more than people that earn 8 to 4, that work 8 to 4? All right. One of the one of the deliberations, and that they are, things that are agreed upon, are one of the things that most of the delegates from the North were pushing. And I agree with them. That is about taking care of the certification of the North. And it is not only the North that is getting, that desertification is disturbing now. It is even moving down south. A lot of people even they push up the argument that it is that idea that is making the Fulani herdsmen to come down south. Is it the idea that is making them to kill people? Well, I'm not going there. I am just saying, if they had adopted that document, it would be really, really good for the country. In that document, there is a better provision for the idea that if some people want to move out of Nigeria, there is a better provision for that. In that 2014 document, I don't know whether you notice, if you have been following the interviews with Professor Akin Oyebode, the VC of UNILAG, I suppose. No, not UNILAG. Yes, the professor in UNILAG.
Yeah.
He said that document, I'm not sure whether he participated, but he's one of the people that went all over the country.
He participated. He was there. Exactly. He was a delegate.
Wonderful. So before they did, as a Nigerian, as a delegate, from Yoruba, from the Southwest, is one of the people that moved around the Southwest looking for ideas, that they will push forward. He said Yoruba were very, very, very ready. They had documents, they have recommendations,
Sorry, Debola. Tony, Deborah, Omoyaje, please stay online. I'm bringing you on next. Tony, Deborah, Omoyaje, stay online. I'm bringing you next.
Tony and I are having some discussion before now. I didn't know you were going to bring me on, but it's okay. Now, in that document, I keep talking about that as if I participated in it. I did not, but I listened. I was following it. By the time that they finished the whole thing, I knew most of the, recommendations that were in the final document. Why is the party in power, the government in power, not adopting it? Excuse that it was Jonathan that handpicked some people. Go back and look at the delegates in that conference. Most of them were not even people that are interested in government anymore. They might be politicians. Some of them, of course, may be people who were in power before. They are not interested in power anymore. They are not interested in money anymore. All right? Some of them are seasoned academics. Some of them are, political analysts. Some of them youth. Some of them women. Many things that were not in the 1999 Constitution. Very innovative ideas are in that document. Look, I will give you another example. I don't know whether whether you saw this at a time that it caused a sensation on the social media. There is a professor from Osun Central or thereabout in the Senate. Yeah. His wife is also a professor in charge of NAFDAC, I think, now, today. That professor is a member of APC. He rose up on the floor of the Senate, raising the 1999 Constitution and saying, this Constitution will not take us anywhere. He was screaming. He does not speak quietly. It will not take us anywhere. Look, a lot of people believe today, and I am one of those people, that believe that all this idea, I'm sorry to say, Sowore, I respect him a lot. All right? All this idea that people like Sowore are pushing, that we should just try and, what did he even say? We should change the status quo. We should do this, we should do that. Yes, we can do that. But what is in that? What is in our Constitution that will even allow that to happen? The
Maybe
Nigerian
no
Constitution
provision for that.
does not allow that. This is the preaching that, this is a sermon that I have been preached to since my part 1 in the university. It is an old school idea. I'm sorry to say.
No, that's just the truth.
I am sorry to say. We keep on believing it. Look, it's a noble idea. Don't get me wrong. But it's not going to happen. The current structure will not allow it to happen. Let PDP come back today. All this nonsense that they are saying now in the opposition, they will forget about it. Why? Because the structure we have on ground, it is very favorable to any party in power. All the things that any party that is in opposition was saying before it gets into power, go and watch. By the time they get into power, they will change tune. So, what we can demand, as far as I'm concerned, though, is that, all right, you say you do not want us to disrupt the system because they will not allow any disruption of the system. Just let me tell you that. We can keep hoping on that. That will be fine, but it's not going to happen. Now I'm becoming a realist. But we can force them that we have spent a lot of money. I remember the money that was budgeted for that 2014 conference. Let them take it up. Is it the one we want to adopt? Let's go ahead and adopt it. Let's see what we have. Don't let us waste money again. Don't let us disrupt anything.
Just go ahead and adopt it.
Yes, that's my idea.
I hope they will let it go.
I don't know.
I hope they will let it go.
I don't. If they don't let it work, what will happen is what has been happening already. Look, many people today, as I am talking, today that I'm talking, they are in Nigeria. I'm talking about people in my age group, people who are younger, even people who are older than me. They are in the country because they are waiting to get an opportunity to leave. Let me just tell you, they will leave. Everybody will leave. When they leave, I hope Buhari will be happy because he has always been saying that whoever wants to leave, let them leave. Okay, they will leave now. When they leave, the marauding pastoralists, I don't want to call them the name they are, they will continue moving down south. And they will be taking up the lands that belong to the people. The young people who have taken it upon themselves in the south, even in the middle belt, to go to the farm. Look at what is happening to them, my brother. It is well. And people, patriots, like Sowore'S and the other very wonderful people who keep saying that we should disrupt the system. We should do revolution now. The so-called revolution now, how many people are ready to join it? Is it the people in the north who don't even believe there is anything wrong? The present system, because their people are there. And people keep saying that the problem that we have is that we do not understand the fact that all of us are suffering the same way. Yes, let's assume, take it that all of us are suffering the same way. All of us, we don't have good road, we don't have electricity. Do you think the people in the north care about that? I am not talking about the elite, because they say it is the elite that is pushing that narrative. I am not talking about the elite. I am talking about the Talakawas. I am talking about the people who didn't go to school. I am talking about the people, the young people in the north. I'm talking about them. Do you think they have the same reasoning that we have? We know that there is something wrong with the structure. They don't think so. They don't believe so. Now you are saying that we should wait for them. We should allow all of us to come together so that we talk to the government and we do a pushback towards the government so that they listen to us. We will wait years for that.
Jibola, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll talk behind the scene. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Deborah, are you there? Deborah, I'm looking for you. Where are you? You're not visible. Oh. That was Dr. Jibola Fatuti from the British Columbia University. Thank you so much for coming. Ibrahim Showa, where are you speaking from? Ibrahim Showa, where are you speaking from? Ibrahim Showa, where are you speaking from? That was another angle. That was another perspective from Dr. Jibola. Ibrahim Showa, where are you speaking from? Are you speaking from the north? Ibrahim Showa, I'm hearing you now. You think the northerners care about the country? I just think it's about time that we have discussion among youth. You'll be right thinking, you'll be wrong thinking. We have to think the concerns, because now our generations are getting into our 45, into our 50s now. I remember when I got into NC, I have a lot of my seniors there, my juniors, my friends, my colleagues. Then, before you look at it, it's 21 years ago, 22 years ago. We're out of college now. Some of us are fathers. A lot of my classmates are not married because they don't have jobs. A lot of my classmates. I was telling a friend, I had my NC 2001. Imagine a lot of my friends are not married now because they tell you, I'm not married. How do I take care of my family? No job. No job. So these are things we should talk about. These are things we really need to talk about. But we are too polarized. We are too concerned with the APC, PDP. No, we should be more concerned about the country, Nigeria. Because number one, the most often the politicians only use you. They use you the same way a PDP politician uses you. That's the same way an APC guy uses you. And when they're done, they remember 2% of those they have helped that fought for them. That they only now what they do is to buy you airtime, and you can go. You become an internet warlord for them. You go on Facebook, you go on Twitter. See. This is how they have polarized us. So when I'm talking, so people are sending me curses in my phone. Now imagine people cursing me, right, with what I'm doing. People cursing me now. Calling me stupid. I'm mostly Sowore. I'm mostly Chidi. Now. People of my age. People of my age that are really suffering, that my life is better than theirs, cursing me. Because I invited Sowore for a talk. So that's the country we have. Our minds as youth have been messed up. They got us fucked up. I'm sorry for saying that, but I'll use that word. They got our mind messed up. And someone who is riding Okada, who doesn't even ride Okada riders are even better. At least they make money. People who have to depend on politicians, who have to depend on giveaway. Graduates who cannot think because their minds have been enslaved by the peanuts they get from the politicians. And these are what we need to talk about as youths, because now we are having children. What kind of Nigeria are we going to hand over to our children? Some of us are so passionate about Nigeria. We love Nigeria. You think it's Wasa Sowore being jailed for revolution now? He could have struck a deal with the government. They give him some billions. The government is always ready to give out money. They give out money, yeah. But some of us are there. We always say it as it is. It may not be a popular belief, but we always say it. We always say it. It doesn't have to be popular. But the fact is that there is something fundamentally wrong with the structure that we have in Nigeria. And we have had 3 people talk fantastically about that. Sowore came, you can imagine, talking and his network was jammed in the country. Me. I'm not NT, I'm not CNN, I'm not jammed for Facebook interview. We brought the next person was there, we brought the third person was clear. That's the country we have. That's the country we have. People were saying, hey, Itunu, adjust your speaker. But I've been speaking now. There's no echo. The last person spoke, there was no echo. Chidi spoke, there was no echo. That's the country we have. That takes everything as, even when you are saying you're advising the government, you are still seen as an anti-government. That's the country we have. And the instruments in the hand of the politicians are you. They are the you. You can speak good English. You can write good English. Then they employ you. They pay you 50,000. 50,000. 50,000 for a graduate. Even if it's not, if it's consistent, then you also have to understand that when they are out of power, your 50,000 is out of power. There's nothing. Then you go back to your BA. You begin again. You be a houseboy for another politician. You start ranting on. Because I look at when people come online and we start cursing because you support PDP, because you support ACP, because you support AAC. These are the same generation. It is my generation that they use, your generation that they use to achieve all this unholy agenda. And we think it's going to be better. But I hope, I'm pretty sure it's going to be better one day. I just hope it's going to be better. But it's not going to be better when the youth structure is polarized. Nigeria has more committed followers and voters on BBN, Big Brother Nigeria. Nigeria has more voters. You buy airtime and be voting on BBN. I'm not saying it's not good. You're entertaining yourself, but when the issue of BBN is more important than the issue of your nation, of your life, of your future, of your job, Big Brother Nigeria. You graduate in Nigeria as the best medical student, and they will give you 10,000 naira award. 10,000 naira sponsorship and support for being the best student. But the one who can expose the biggest boobs, titties, and bonbon will get 500,000. Some of them will even get 25 million. That's the country we have. That's the country we have. A country that cannot invest, a country that still gives graduates 500 or 2,000 naira as yearly bursary. Bursary 2,000 naira. What do you want to do with that? 2,500. Thanks to Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State that's giving law student bursary of 500,000. So I was told. I don't know if it's true, but it is all over the media, all over the airwaves. 500,000 to law student. Yeah, that's a very good one. But extend it to medical, extend it to people even studying Yoruba. There is no waste. Nigeria will be. I believe that too. But we cannot. Nigeria will not be. Nigeria will, see. You don't know how much of power this social media thing that we do that it has. If 10,000 Nigerian youth can agitate can make a move on a topic one day, the government will become jittery. Yes, 10,000 out of over 67 million youths that we have. Just 10,000. Get on Twitter, get on Facebook. Okay, Oli, I'm bringing Oli online. Oli, where's the face? So Oli, I'm looking for you, bro. You know, a lot of things that are not just sensible have become the normal standard of living. Becoming normal standard of living in the country. Only I'm looking for your icon. I can't see you. I can see your comment, but I can't see your icon here. You know, it's so much of a messed up society and country. Some of us are here. Some of us are. I'm just doing this just for doing sake. So that when my daughter asked me that, Daddy, what did you say when Nigeria was messed up, was turned to be as messed up as this? Sowore will tell you that I led the revolution now. A lot of other people will say I led something. So I don't want to look at my daughter and say, I just sat in America, I was studying. I don't want that. I don't want that. You know, it's not. When you go, Adodo Johan. Adodo Johan. Okay. No. But Akinwale Olalusi, we should even at least we should even change it. At least change it for once. Do you think Nigeria can be worse than what we have? Do you think Nigeria can be worse than what we have? Do you think a country can be worse than what we have? Where you lift crude oil every year. You lift crude oil every day. You lift crude oil every day, and you take it out, and they refine and they come and sell it triple the price to you. Do you think it could be worse than this? I don't think there's anything. I don't think of all the nations that are wealthy in Nigeria, Nigeria is one of the worst. Maybe you do Nigeria. Oli, hope you are not driving.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, all right.
How
Let
are you,
me see
brother?
if I can connect my... You can hear me clearly, right?
Loud and clear, yes.
Okay, good, good. I'm actually getting ready to come meet you in Dallas, so this is gonna be short, right? I'm in Tulsa,
Okay.
Oklahoma. I gotta do a 4-hour drive to come meet you. All right,
Okay.
so I've been listening. I was getting ready. I had a busy morning, but I've been listening to all the people you brought on. You know, great program. I'm so glad to have you bring on Sowore, and I love how you gave him a chance to talk. Unfortunately, I couldn't hear everything because of the noise in the background. You know, that's too unfortunate. But the two people you brought on after that, too, great perspective. Dr. Shidi and I believe Dr. Jibola, right?
Jibola, yeah.
Yes, yes. So that's really good. So I just wanted to say a few things, and that is the fact that, you know, I feel like sometimes, I mean, we're all passionate about fixing the problem in Nigeria, and we know that there's, man, tons of problems. I left Nigeria in 2003. I've been here now 17 years, feels like yesterday, you know, but I go home often and I see the issues. It affects me. I still have family back there. My wife and kid is back there. My parents live there. You know, my house is there. So I know that these problems exist. I get the passion we have, but I think we need to start talking about the solution. And we need to start talking about the solution from a perspective that is not so reactionary to everything we hear, you know, because I feel like we get excited. And that's normal. You know, it's just like somebody who has nothing, who is poor. Every time you tell them something about money, they jump,
Money.
should I go now?
Exact
Should we
them,
go?
yeah.
Let's go make it, you know. It's typical. But it's got to get to a point where you have to tell yourself. Dr. Jibola said something really, really good. He said, you know, we've been doing this for a long time. So we've been hearing this whole thing for a long time. When I'm at work, I work to some extent in leadership capacity. And one of the things that I get a bit irritated about is for somebody to keep repeating a problem over and over again. It gets tiring. You know, so you say it like 10 times, good. Now stop talking about it and let's focus on the
solution. What's the solution?
Right. And when it comes to the solution, it's not that I don't like and respect everybody who has brought forth a solution. In the last election, Sowore was not my candidate. I will be the first to say Moghalu was. And the reason why Moghalu was purely strategic for me. But at the same time, I'll tell you what, even more than Moghalu or anybody, when it comes to a personality that I really respect, I respect Sowore because he has a kind of conviction that is not common. Honestly, I don't even think I have it. I don't think I'm ready to drop all my life now and go run for an election I know I cannot win just to make a statement and just to encourage people. Because I think the man is not even that, it's not that crazy to be a president. He has a beautiful life. You know, whoever does not see the beauty in his life is just somebody who is so used to, you know, ingenuine life. What is distracting you is not success. The man has success. But to see what he has done, and how dedicated he is, and how he keeps doing all these things, even when he knows it's dangerous. I respect that. But just like Dr. Jibola said, the solution is going to have to be a lot more comprehensive and deeper than just electing another president. It's going to be more. Because you elect Sowore today as your president. So, so I agree. Sowore is not going to be sleeping and not saying a single thing about people being killed in Southern Kaduna every day.
Yeah.
I know Sowore is not going to not respond when you keep seeing videos of police officers that are collecting bribe every day. I know Sowore is not going to be unresponsive to the fact that SARS, as we speak, every day is still arresting people, demanding, even people who have nothing, going into homes and taking monies from families for them to release their innocent sons and daughters that were arrested on the street for doing nothing. So we still have this problem. I believe that Sowore is not. But when it comes to changing the foundation of the problem we have, what is fundamentally wrong with Nigeria? Just replacing the president alone does not fix it.
Does not solve it.
You need the right set of people, the people who have the right set of, mindset, and at the same time who has the right kind of passion for Nigeria. You need them in the legislative houses. You need them as state governors across the country. You need them as president, of course, and president has the power to pick his, executive cabinet. You also need to reawaken conscience in the judiciary. So how do we do that? This holistic approach, how do we go about it? It has to come from a place of aggressive campaign, because we all have to be in that strong awareness. That strong awareness, if you as a person can become so impassioned that you can recruit within your own locality another 10 or 20 people and say, look, we've been doing social club. Look, we are the ex-students of XYZ, but this is a cause that we must take on. We are going to aggressively campaign. The same way you do evangelism and you preach.
Yeah.
Great that you are preaching about heaven, but we are still stuck on earth. Aggressively preach that to people so that you can awaken that consciousness. And then when election time comes, look, I have some brothers. Some of them may be watching me now. I'm a blunt person. When you do campaign, the little I have, I give you. But I know you are not going to solve any problem. I just did it because that is what a big brother does for a younger brother. Exactly. I know you are not solving jack. And even from your recent actions, I've seen solving jack is not your priority. You're just propelling your personal ambition. And I am not mad at that. I am propelling mine as well. But it is not going to fundamentally solve our problems. If what we are interested in is solving our problems, we need to get to that place of very conscious and deliberate awareness, where we can then pull ourselves together and say, whoever is going to be our local government chairman must be a good man. Who is a good man? Who is a man of conscience? That right now is not even concerned about being a leader or whatever. And how do we ensure that when that man gets there, he's going to do the right thing? Power will not.
Okay, Adodo, sorry, Oli. Adodo, Johan, please stay on the line. Stay on the line. I'll come back for you. Oli, go ahead, sir.
How are we going to ensure that that man is also going to do the right thing? So here's what we do. We, on several platforms, legislative executives across the state, we find the right people. We support those right people with the right passion. And at the same time, even a man as good as Sowore can get into politics, become frustrated by the fact that he cannot change things, and simply focus on recovering his losses. It happens every time. I have seen good people change into unbelievable things in politics. It happens. But it is now the mandate of the people to say, let us see what we can do to ensure that that also does not happen. So what do? We make sure that if we are going to present you and support you and put you in office, we have a set of things, set of requirements, set of demands that you must meet. And we are also going to arm ourselves with enough education on how to get you out of that office if you don't do those things.
Right away.
And we let you know you are not nobody is waiting till the next election. You are not going to spend more than 1 year in office. We are going to remove you if you don't do this and that. You can recall your members of legislative at any level. Federal level, state level, even local. You can. There are processes to it. We need to educate ourselves by that. We need to empower ourselves. We need to merge with the right forces. We have people in Nigeria that are legal practitioners that are willing to give us or lend us support on how to make that happen. A person like Falana can be at the head of that. The man doesn't care about politics anymore. He just wants a better society. Exactly. So we can come together and make sure that we're going to put people there who have promised us they will do X, Y, Z. That X, Y, Z will be difficult. You cannot expect now, with the crop of people you have in your federal representative. I have a brother right now in the state legislative of my state. Let Itunu know. Itunu knows who I'm saying. Put him on the phone and ask him to promise that he will no longer take salary from Ondo State because Ondo State is poor. Let us take, and that he will not take allowances either. That he will just work. That me and Itunu will be giving him salary every month. After all, we can afford it. Okay, let us put him now and have him promise it. Will he promise it? No, he cannot. I swear on my life, he won't. So that's the issue. So when we put people in, we can say promise X, Y, Z. When you promise X, Y, Z, this is what you must do. If you don't do it, we will remove you, and we're not playing. He will see that, in fact, more than picking him, we have already designed a very strong machinery on how to remove people. That is where most of our energy will be. Now, when you have enough right people, where laws are being made, and they can begin to speak the right kind of language, we have a shot at fixing things on the constitutional and legislative level. Also, if you have strong people and the right people in the legislative houses, you can also begin to get the attention of the judiciary. The judiciary cannot just be doing what they want. This House of Representatives and Senates, or even House of Assemblies across the states, are the most powerful places because it is where you have the most diversities across. It is where you put most of the grassroots people. Now, it is also great. It would be a nice luxury to have somebody like Sowore'S as the president. But can you imagine if you have the right people in the House of Reps and in the Senate? You cannot have an irresponsible leader. You cannot have those kind of people right now in the Senate and Buhari will still be president. It's impossible. It will be gone. It will not be gone. It will be long gone. I mean, long gone enough that by now we will not even talk about it anymore. Exactly. So these are the kind of steps that we can possibly take. How we are going to do it, how we are going to get there is the challenge. But that is the kind of conversation we can actually begin to have. How do we achieve it? Sowore'S is already on track with all these Revolution Now campaigns and things. That is what we are talking about. Now, how we use that Revolution Now thing, that whole thing, it's not for violence, it's not for anything, but how do we use that to begin to rightly infect the minds of Nigerians and recruit enough people? And let me correct one other opinion. You don't need every Nigerian to be on board with this thing to make it work. Look, every society is going to have its idiots. If you don't believe that before, let me break it to you now. It's bad news, but just bear with me. As nice as America is, there are more idiots living. I'm telling you, there are more idiots living in America than reasonable people. I'm just breaking it to you now. I can go on the street now and talk to 10 people. You will find out that only 2 of them will make sense. 8 of the other ones will be fools, even in America. Okay, that is the truth. But the few people who are reasonable, who are elite, can come together, form a very powerful voice. They can begin to speak loudly and begin to campaign to an extent that they begin to get the attention of other people who are also reasonably smart.
Exactly.
In no time, we would have won enough attention that even if we don't have 100%, we have won enough stature in the society that people begin to pay attention to us and we can no longer be ignored. Even the corrupt politicians now will find a reason to begin to align with us to some extent. You know, after all, even the likes of Oshiomhole and all these people, they've joined some ridiculous campaigns pretending that they like the causes, even though they were simply using it to advance their own political ambition. You know, when you are big enough and you have a voice loud enough, people will align with you to some extent. And that's why I love the whole idea of revolution now. I think actually that Sowore'S has a bigger shot at things like that than even winning election, because I feel that he may even win corrupted, he may even resign after a while and say, look, this people
I don't want these people to get me mad.
Exactly. I can't do anything here. Otherwise, these people are going to taint me. That may happen. So, but with these campaigns and everything, we are definitely on to something. Another thing that is very important is what Dr. Jibola said. There has been recommendations from confab. That confab conference was great. Yeah, that can be used. But here is what I want to also remind Dr. Jibola about. You and I can talk from today till tomorrow. Okay. What is the incentive for somebody like Bola Tinubu to listen to you and I? Who are we in the grand scheme of corrupt politics? We are nothing. We are something in other light, but in terms of corrupt politics, the corrupt machination of politics in Nigeria, we are not. They are not affected by us. So why would they do what we want? So if that won't work, that would have been beautiful if we can find a way to push it through. But if that wouldn't work, that's what I mean by we have to focus on other offices and begin to deliberately decorrupt those offices and have the right people for representation. When I'm saying these things, I'm telling you the truth. I will get in trouble for it. Somebody will still call my phone now and curse me after I'm done talking.
Yeah.
You know, in my own locality.
I'll show you when you get to Dallas.
Yeah, in my own locality, I am close to politicians. I have them as younger brother, younger sister. I have uncles in politics that are in current politics. I have brother-in-laws that are ex-House of Rep members and senators. I have them. So, you know, but we will say the truth. You understand? If we want change, if we don't want change, yeah, perfect. The people we have now are okay. We just keep hoping they do something, you know, but because of the way it is now, nothing can really change. Nothing can really move in a way that we see. These are our core problems. Security is messed up. What do you expect? Let me just give you one picture. For people who say the number one problem of Nigeria is power, I laugh at you people. It's not the number one reason. Ask me and Itunu if darkness is what scares us about moving to Nigeria. Look at me, Emunolo. Is it the first time they are taking light? It's not a big deal. I can deal with it. What I cannot deal with, I'll tell you, is the police officer on the roadside that can shoot me just because I'm looking too fine and I took too long to respond to his answers. You understand? That is the one I'm most fearful about. I have gone through that. Of me talking and somebody says, like when I talk to Nigerians, I switch this on. I've lived here for 17 years. I can sound all American if I want to. But when I try to switch this on, there are still going to be a few things that come through. He said, what? You're acting like as if you're American. You're making mouth for me. Get out of the car. Fuck that car and pound this way. I'll beat you now. You know, all that craziness. And it's not like if this guy did anything that there's something I can do to make him pay. For every 3 police officers you see on Facebook, they are taking them to jail, they kill somebody, whatever, they have killed 1,000. They have killed 1,000. The majority of people they have killed, calling Yahoo boy, taking money from them, robbing them, and just killing them. We can't even talk about it. There are so many such things. So our security agencies, our security system in totality needs complete overhaul. And you need the set of leaders that have the political will. Not just money. It's not a money issue. We don't even have to spend more. Ask Itunu and I, we live in America. The police departments can make billions for Nigeria in a year. Imagine all that money they take on the streets. Imagine that they are writing tickets instead. There's no need to impound your vehicle. If you commit an infraction, they pull you over, they give you a ticket. American police officers don't even take your driver's license anymore because they've realized that it's stupid. If I give you a ticket and I already have your information, I don't need anything from you. I can trace you
around.
So if we have a good registry, they pull you over, they give you violation, you go and pay that money in bank at your convenience. They may even give you a nice little phone courtesy call to remind you, yes, sir, you are still owing us that 30,000.
They will even send letter to your house.
Exactly. Even if you are a poor driver, you are a taxi driver, you don't have much, you tender evidence, yes, sir, you go to court, we may even reduce it to 15,000. I'm telling you, the government will make enough billions to finance the entire security outfit. There's what we call traditional taxation, and there are those non-traditional taxation. It's just like lottery system. Every state has lottery system in America. Do you know how many billions they make? They finance the entire education system with that thing. They make so much money. These are the kind of taxes that citizens will willingly pay. They will pay and not complain because they are playing lottery, chance to become multimillionaire. They don't recognize that I'm paying too much tax, so they don't get it. So these are some of the things that we definitely can do to completely finance the entire security outfit. Imagine that you have, there's no need, what is the need for EFCC, custom, road safety?
They are even more political
A police officer can stop a vehicle, ask for driver's license, ask for shipping documents, custom documents, ask for everything, and still ask you to pop your trunk and make sure you are not carrying a dead body in the back seat. Why can't one person do that and move on? The problem of saying we don't have enough police officers in Nigeria, will that still be a problem if you combine everybody in road safety right now, VIO, everybody together under police? Will we still have, we'll have enough people. And there are so many dead agencies across Nigeria anyway where we can put civil servants. You don't even have to hire more. And these people would generate even enough funds. If they cannot completely pay their salary, at least we will eliminate about 30% of the burden. If fines are being assessed the way they are supposed to. If somebody comes to your house and you took too long to cut your lawn, or you didn't clean your gutter, and they actually gave you a violation that you go and pay to the local government, do you realize how much local government will make in a year, in a month?
That you guys don't even clean your environment.
Exactly. If that is, and these are things that you will not be mad about, because I come to your house, it is true that you took too long to clean your gutter. I asked you to pay, 500 naira. Will you be, it's not like I asked you to pay 50,000 now. You understand? You pay.
If I said to pay 5,000, you will clean it the next time.
And everybody will be okay. Everybody, but instead they are going to come there, make life tough for you, get bribes out of you, you will pay way more, yet the government benefits nothing from it. So the common pool we have to solve our common problem, we don't have funds to do it. If we can step back a minute and talk about what government really exists for, it is just a bunch of people living in a common area saying, hey, look, I have my selfish wants, you have your selfish wants, we are going to be fighting each other all day long. If we don't come up with a body that can look after our common interests, those things that apply to you, apply to me, apply to everybody, let's elect some people, some few people in place so that they can look after that thing. That's what government is.
Oli, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you really think our whole Nigeria, do you think that Nigeria is ready? Because number one thing is that, look at when Lagos started LATMA. Look at how beautiful the project was. But look at LATMA today. LATMA today looks like they deliberately go to the streets to hire touts. Something that should have been, because something that should have been a revered job. You don't have to pay you 1 million naira every month to be a LATMA guy in Lagos. But just take care beneath. I was in Lagos in June last year. I was just laughing.
Yeah. And to answer that question, I think that's why when I see what they attempt to do with the police, it annoys me. Initially, it makes me laugh. And then it got to the point where it became too serious. You know that lady that everybody loves in Lagos, who is like the PRO, whatever, she's so beautiful, she comes on TV.
Lagos.
I have to consciously work on myself not to hate her. The reason is that it will be unfair for me to hate a human being who is simply just doing her job and looking beautiful doing it. But the idea is so repulsive, it's irritating. And that is what still happens, is that somehow they feel that, okay, people think we are not doing our job. Let's get a few handsome people who know how to speak English, put them in front of TV, get a few criminals who stole TV and who stabbed one man over there, and put them in front of TV and talk that we caught them. That is not police reform. Just what you have said, sir. If we actually do a proper reform, where the entire police structure is gutted completely, and then we start afresh, we have to start from, okay, number one, who are the people that get recruited in the police? I'm sorry, I don't mean to attack anybody. If you don't have a bachelor's degree and you are in the police force, your duty should be nothing more than guarding gates and opening doors for people and just standing on the street. You do not have the education to relate with people and to deal with difficult situations. Being a police officer, it should not be a job for every topic and area. You need the proper type of personality and you need to be extremely intelligent because you're dealing with people. The people you're dealing with may have been driving for 3-4 hours, so naturally they are frustrated because you stop them. You need to be somebody who understands the dynamics of human relation, be patient, professional enough to separate yourself from the situation, things of that nature. It requires absolute intelligence, and you need education. You definitely need education to do it. There's something about taking social science classes and psychology classes that somehow programs you for things like that. Understanding the quality of customer relation. This person is like a customer to you. That interpersonal skill, somebody needs to really teach you and continue to reteach you every year about it to make sure you don't forget. hire the right people in the offices, and at the same time, we create a system where every police officer will understand that it is a system that attracts bullies, even in America. A bully by nature is somebody who wants to attack other people for pleasure. And where else to go do it and not get in trouble than to be a police officer? You can slap anyhow, you can beat anyhow. It is so attractive to a natural bully. So if you want to restructure the system, you need to make it a system that in the training, in the structure of it, you are going to keep retraining these people. Maybe they work about 9 months a year, or they work 4.5 months, you pull them out, you have them go and do an intensive training for 2 months, you have them go to therapy for another 2 weeks, and then you give them vacation, sponsored vacation for another 2 weeks, and they come back again into service. They do that repeatedly to make sure their psyche is where it needs to be, because these are people who are carrying guns and they can do lethal and dangerous things to citizens. You know, if we do things where the citizens, the same way in America, sir, you know about this, you can get drafted into the military if you are between the age of 18 and 26. Anybody can randomly
selective service.
Exactly. So the same way we have our own selective service, we select a few citizens at random into a security review board that these people, you people are going to be detectives to test our authority systems, not just police force, but every authority system. You go on the street, you drive on the wrong side of the road, you commit infractions. Let us test if our police officers will bribe you. Anyone caught bribing you, anyone caught demanding bribe from you, anyone caught doing anything they're not supposed to be doing, by the time about 5% of people lose their job in the police force, everybody will sit down and say, we cannot do this thing anymore. They are getting people low. And when they get you because you took 20,000 naira bribe, they will take your house, empty your account, do everything. Assume that you've been doing it a long time, and then they will only leave what your wife and your children need to survive. And then you have to start all over. You are lucky if you don't go to jail. Who will still do it? So by the time you do all of those things and you have a system in place that maintains it, another thing that's important with our security forces is they must have absolute independence. A president should not be commanding an AIG and be calling him into his office. It's rubbish. They should have their own complete, so that any policeman suspecting criminality can actually go into the office of the vice president, interrogate him, or invite him for an interview over a suspected crime. Why should that not be able to happen? I understand immunity in the sense that maybe. Yes.
Oli, you remember the Houston police chief? Remember his video, right?
Oh yeah.
Where he said, "I think President Trump is losing his head."
Of course.
That was a city police
that's
chief.
Independence right there. There are some police chiefs that do not even agree with their governor, and they still stay in office.
Not even with the governor. We say with the mayor of the city.
Yeah, exactly, with the mayor of the city. So you need to have a system where there's definitely separation of office. Those people have their autonomy to do their jobs. Yes, the president can report irregularity, can notice irregularity, advise, or even recommend that the legislative arm of government that comprise of enough representation that they investigate the police force. Those should be the people who can investigate a police force, but not that one individual can just back orders, ask somebody to be investigated, ask somebody to be freed. Say this person is my political enemy, go and subject him to ridicule. Go and say this happened and that happened. And come on, we have become a laughing stock. Do you people realize that one of the things that Sowore'S got arrested for was insulting the president? In which country have you heard that? How many times have I called Trump an idiot? I can call Trump an idiot in front of him and he will laugh. Nothing will happen. Nobody will arrest me. Do you know how many people have called Trump an idiot in front of him and nothing happened? Do you know that people throw things at presidents? People ridicule people, people insult people. As long as a crime is not directly committed, you are free to express yourself. We don't have that freedom. So I think if we start from a place where we have the right security forces, even the problem of corruption, we are just not thinking right. You think it is the same politicians who benefit from corruption that will fix corruption for you. But if you regard your security agency, and these people can simply investigate anything that's been reported to them, and guess what? If we have the right kind of people in our legislative office, legislative positions, and at the same time you have the right police force, imagine this. Say there was a law where if I live with Itunu and he went out and he stole 3 million naira and he brought it and put it under the bed and I saw that sack of money and I did not report it to the police force and later they get Itunu, imagine that whatever Itunu gets for sentence, I get half of it.
Half of it.
You think that corruption will still happen the way it happens? Can corruption happen and at least the driver will not see when Oga was taking something inside? Will the wife not know when a certain crime is being committed? So your co-tenant will let you steal money from the bank and bring it home when he knows that he will go to jail for what he did not do. People will start ratting out on people. And that is what happens in all these other environments and countries you are so envious of, all these other countries that you like so much. It is the fact that I will have so much access to money at work and I won't be able to steal it. The reason is that I know there are many people at my job who are compelled, no matter how much they like me, to report the fraud if they saw any sign of it. So the fear that I cannot get away with it is what will make me not even do it at all. Every human being is corruptible. Every society has its evil people. But when you are in a place where you know that if you do something, the chances that they will get you is very high because somebody will report you or whatever, that goes a long way in discouraging that thing. So if we can get our security right, if we can try as much as possible to affect the kinds of people we put in offices, it's going to be a collective effort. It's going to be a strong campaign that's going to go on amongst citizens, recruit other people, infect other people. The biggest problem I have with this, I have to say it at this point, and a lot of us who live here, especially those of us who are citizens of the US or Canada or everywhere, the reason why we have now begun to give up on you folks is because I'm sorry, I'm not insulting anybody, but it is true. When I bring my dollars to Nigeria, how much of these problems I'm talking about affects me? I have learned my lesson now. Before I get there to where the police officer is standing, I have already taken out my maybe 2 or 3 200 naira notes. They stop me again now, and it go talk or gas self. I get out. Now you go feel am. Me where they carry dollar come, that's only $2 for me. You understand? So when I get to Nigeria now, my house has generator, has inverter, has everything. Light, I don't even know when they carry light self. But why can I do that? Because I live in the US. You understand? Should I have to live in the US? So when we are talking about these problems, and we expect the people who are directly affected by these problems the most to be the ones who will feel so much pain, join us and stuff, Sowore, an American permanent resident who is already overdue for citizen, who just chose not to take his citizenship because he wants to be a leader. You are abusing him. He came to Nigeria to represent you. You are abusing. What does he need from you? What does he need from Nigeria anymore?
Only before you go, let me bust you. Let me bust you. In 2018, we were in the same room with Sowore in his hotel when he came to Dallas.
Yeah.
So one of his friends was there with us, and he said, he looked at me and said, he looked at us and said, do you know that on Sahara Reporters, at the stage, Sahara Reporters server crashed because there was too many clicks on it. You know what that means in money every day?
Exactly.
An average of 9.3 million clicks on Sahara Reporter every day. You know what that means? So we are here. With this, Sowore'S looking for money.
Yeah.
That's why I came to Nigeria.
And that man is volunteering himself. One thing I've also found, sir, is that a lot of us who live here, maybe it's because of this one thing one of my friends said, Mbanugo, I love him, he's such my very brilliant political analyst friend of mine. He said, look, he said, it is easy for you to love Nigeria from afar because you are not directly corrupted by the problem. Maybe that's what it is. But brothers, even if that is what it is, we gotta wake up. If a problem is ravaging you, if you are in your 30s and you don't even have anything in sight about your future, you can sit with me now. If you have 10 hours, I will plan my life into the 60s with you. And at no point will I be less than owning millions. Because I live in a place where I can plan that. So you are at a place where you don't even know what's going to happen next month, what's happening next year. Everything is. I have some big brothers, like Itunu said. They are so-called, political. What do we call them? They call themselves political assistants or administrators. Is a lie.
I call them internet warriors.
So that's what they do. They don't have cars. They don't have any. They basically have nothing to show for their lives, even from the so-called political, what do we call it now? The political followership. They have nothing. And that is a kind of frustrating place. When you fall sick, you go to a hospital where to see people is a problem. There's one guy, I've been responsible for him for a while now. I just found him on my street. He wasn't doing anything. I got him to start apprenticeship with my auto technician, paid for it, everything. He's been a great guy, but he fell ill. He has diabetes and he just died recently. I was so touched. Not because he died. People die every day. I work in the medical field. I'm a little desensitized from death. It's not, it will happen to everybody. But the reason why it touched me so much was because this is a preventable thing. It's not kidney failure where we are looking for kidney. It's not heart failure where we need millions. He just needs to eat the right kind of food every day. And he just needs to take his medication from time to time, use his insulin. But whenever I send him money for insulin, there may be other problems in the house he uses that money for, he doesn't tell me. Or whenever I say, don't drink garri, don't eat rice, there's beans, there's akara, there's
then what do you want him to eat?
He doesn't, he just eats whatever he gets. And the problem of poverty. And then when he fell ill again, for them to take him to the hospital, find out what is wrong with him, they just kept him in the house because they felt they couldn't afford it. It got to a point the family just basically gave up on him. And that is the problem because he himself is not a little kid. He could have gone to the hospital, gotten the kind of care he needed if he lived in a sane society. And that same society is what we're fighting for. Nigerians themselves must begin to wake themselves up. You're the one who's in the... Look, it doesn't matter how much I love Nigeria. It's going to get to a point where I'm going to be like, look, let me worry more about my wife and my child. After all, my life is here. It's going to get to that point. It's going to get to a point where for 3 days straight, Itunu doesn't think about Nigeria. His life is not in Nigeria. You understand? But you are the one whose life is there. Even if you have a job, everybody's praising you. You are a big boy. You work at GT Bank. They pay you 500,000. You are the one who knows that before the end of the month, it has
money comes, everything is gone.
You are the one who knows that you cannot buy a brand new car. All the brand new car they are telling you, it's Tokumbo. It's you safe. Your tires.
They already cut or they already reduced the mileage.
And you know that even when you go to work and you sit in your car, the traffic, the bad roads, what bad roads cost you to fix on your car every day. All of these problems I'm mentioning, it affects you directly. It doesn't affect me and Itunu until we come for that 1 month break. And we don't care anyway because the car dies, we buy another one, right?
Last one was 6 days.
Exactly. And so you need to, we need to take this problem serious, begin to talk amongst each other. If we begin to pick the right set of people for representation, even speaking about Biafra, if they focus on changing their political representation.
Adebayo Bimisade, can you send me a personal message?
Yeah. If they can even change representation, political representation on the East to some extent and keep people accountable. I'm not saying there will still not be need for Biafra, but you will achieve it easier because you will have the set of politicians who are on the same page with you, not working against you. I don't have anything about Biafra agitation. I think actually that Nigeria may be a little too large for us to fix all the problems we have. If we didn't have issues, it would be a different thing. And I think that we live with too many people who have very polarized beliefs. When you listen to what some of the people on the far north are okay with sometimes, it is difficult to believe that they are forced to live in the same nation with somebody in Abia and Imo. We don't reason the same way. We cannot justify that you are saying that they should kill somebody because he said something about a certain prophet. That will never be okay with anybody from the South, even including the Muslims of the South. So, so definitely they are going to, with that much polarization, I believe that some degree of secession may end up, or maybe just break up in the sense that maybe we do some kind of restructuring where it allows us to have
I'm coming right now. Adodo John, I'm coming. Please.
All right. So maybe that's one of the things we need to do. So, but to some extent, the Biafra argument, I understand it, I get it. This is where my reservation comes, though, and I've said I will say this. Dr. Shidi may not like me for this. I do not believe in the ministry of Nnamdi Kanu, and I'll tell you why. when Nnamdi Kanu sits and he says, my strategy was wrong, I was angry, and that anger made me say and do things that are wrong, and so I want to be more pragmatic. And he rephrases. He can still promote Biafra without wanting to get guns that will kill all Nigerians. He can still be pro-Biafra without soliciting for arms that will, everybody, all Yoruba people, all Hausa people will kill everybody, will lie everywhere, everywhere will be red. We can still achieve Biafra without that kind of mentality. I still listened to some of his radio shows recently, and the far conspiracy theories and the ideas that almost everybody that is not Igbo is an enemy, those kind of mentality is what I call sensationalism, and they are retrogressive sensationalism. There are some Yoruba people that have it too, where everything is extreme for them. If you leave it to them, every Hausa person should be killed. Every Fulani. Those kind of extreme responses to issues do not provide solutions. And they can really confuse you, because let me tell you what it will do for you. It will leave you in a place where you get some kind of sentimental satisfaction.
Only, wrap it up. You have a 4-hour drive to Dallas.
Yes, so
3 o'clock.
Exactly. So
3 o'clock.
It gives you a place where you have some kind of sentimental satisfaction, but when it comes to pragmatic approach to solving problems, you won't be able to do much. And quite frankly, the people you need to be on board with you to support your cause, because you've already smeared them, they don't want to listen to you. Yeah, that's my grouse within Nnamdi Kanu. If some of you, his supporters, I'm taking this opportunity, can kind of tell him, hey, look, Oga, or look, Maxi, whatever you call him, it's just a human being to me. And you say, look, can you dress this down a little bit? Can we be more engaging of all Nigerians? Can we speak to us achieving what we want to achieve in a way that still will be friendly, because we will still, even if we succeed, we will still have to deal with all these other regions anyways. I think that would be a more pragmatic approach. Thank you for letting me come on. I'm going to go get ready now.
Thanks for busting my brain again like you have always done.
Yeah.
Jump into your car. I'm expecting you in Dallas.
All right. You're gonna have Nigerian stout for me, right? I want Nigerian stout too.
Make sure Gasoline have not closed before you come around. So come.
All right.
Come. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful drive. Right, please.
Thanks.
I'll be expecting you. Take care, bro. Adudo Johan. Okay, you're there. Please come online. Do I have you? I'm waiting on Adudo Johan to accept my invite. Then after that, I have Adudo Johan. After Adudo Johan, I'll be having Kelly Omotayo. Adudo Johan, you declined my invite. Why? We just need to do this for ourselves. What we are doing right now is like a mini family meeting. It's everywhere. Igbos, Hausa, Yorubas. Everyone is present here. Fulanis, Ijo guys. Everyone is present here. One thing unites us. It's our country. Homeland. It's our homeland. Look at, even let's look at it from this angle. If we so decide to say, okay, next election, a politician that cannot prove that this is my career, this is where I'm coming from, will not enjoy anybody's support. That's number one. Because right there in Nigeria, we keep talking, but we have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of professional politicians. Have you ever imagined you asking someone that, what do you do for a living? What's your profession like? What do you do? They say, I'm a politician. I don't know where they read politician. I don't know what university teaches politician. I don't know in the world. I know political science. Most of them are political analysts and university lecturers and teachers and businessmen. But when it gets to a stage, you ask someone, sir, what do you do for a living? They said, I'm a politician. That's what they do for a living. Professional politicians. Those are the guys we need to remove their hands from the Commonwealth. We need to remove their hands from our money, from our national life. And when you look at the composition of the National Assembly, you see some people, you ask yourself, how did this person get there? You ask yourself, how did this person how did he win the election? Are there no other people? You know, a man won election in our own side of the country, and I said, if they're exactly Ojelu, if these people must present a representative, so they looked around and they found no other person than this man. And how did he win the election? And how did this man win the election? I keep asking, how did he win the election? When you start asking yourself that, how did such person win? You know, what did he do to win the election? How much did he pay people? How much did he pay people so he can win the election? Then you start asking I'm serious. I started asking myself a lot of questions that, báwo lẹni yìí ṣe ṣe? Ibo lẹni yìí gbé ọ̀rọ̀ tiẹ̀ gbà tó fi win election? It wasn't about being jealous or nothing, but you just have to ask some questions about some people. It's just like saying, if a man has to, a family wants to present somebody for a chieftaincy title, and they found the mediocre among them to represent them. They found the worst among them. So this is the person we're presenting. And there are so many of them, tons and tons of them being governors. I'm sorry to say, I've mentioned this name. How can you imagine? Okay, I swallow it. I'm not going to mention anybody's name. I'm not going to mention anybody's name than Sowore'S name for today. Last week I had Botogwe Faswa. This week I had Sowore, I had Jibola, I had a couple of other folks, Dr. Chidi. If I know you, I'm not mentioning your name. So it doesn't appear like I'm smearing anybody, no. But you know what this, there's some that are professional mediocres. And we have them, so many of them. And they are the one representing you, as cerebral as you are, as smart as you are. Those are the guys representing you. We've had about Kelly, log out of Facebook and come back to join us. Don't give up. Ayotunde Atilon, Abiola, don't give up. If you give up and every other person gives up, so what happens? Some of us can talk, we'll be talking. Some of us can do this. We'll be doing whatever you can do. Whatever you can do, you cannot give up. We can't give up. If all we can do is what we are doing, having a kind of avenue where we all can sit and talk. Your local environment, create an avenue. Look for a group, form a group for like minds. Like minds. Look at people that think like you. Look at people that you can't start living in the north anymore. Not that Afagbe not. Afagbe not. You will first Kurumbe. You better wait there for us.
Hello? Hello? Yes, sir. Yeah. Who is it? Who is talking, sir? Shegun Alpha. Shegun, how are you? You don't sell it. Okay. Our live chat, right? The live chat. Sorry, I lost him. Was making a comment on the program. So please form, like Oli suggested that. That's a very good thing. Form a group of like minds, people who are going the same direction as you. When two good heads come together and they provide a solution to a pressing need in the society, you have a very high tendency of having people joining you the next moment. Then from there, you can influence people. But you cannot influence people having a good idea in your heart and keeping quiet because you're giving up on your society, on your country. You cannot do that. I'm a teacher by training. Karim Umeza, my homeboy day one. I'm a teacher by training. I read history and education. At that point, people already, and many of us, people already gave up on us. People already gave up on us. And the most we can do will be to go be a teacher. That's all you can do. But some of us found a way of saying that, okay, just to show people that all that matters is having a smart head, having a bachelor's degree or HND or this or that. And you can create a world for yourself. I don't know. I would have loved to be a teacher, but I cannot be a teacher anymore. Anyway, I've even forgotten everything I learned in my history and education class. But if you have a solution, okay, Kelly, you're okay now. If you have a solution to a problem, a pressing problem in your environment, right? People will follow you when you say, okay, let's go. When you say, let's go, people will follow you because you have an answer to their solution, to their problem. But when you keep looking around, when you keep looking around, you keep quiet in the face of injustice, you don't have a solution, even if you have it, but you're not providing it. It's just like, hey, where's your pen? You say, I have a pen. Where's the pen? You said, I left it in my car. Then you don't have one because we need a pen right now. We need to write something, but you don't have it. So if you are complaining about Nigeria, you can complain from now till tomorrow. I can do this stuff from now till next year. I can start a radio station from now. And if I don't have an answer, nothing happens. Nothing happens. If all I come around to say is that, hey, Shetwo, you don't see, I don't know any name in BBN. I don't watch it. Never watched it. Never watched BBN. BB Niger. I have never, maybe I'm the only one in the old world. I have never watched it. For what? For what? It's a waste of time for me. See, if you see books on my table that I need to read, you even pity that how does this guy cope? So now I've been thinking about living my life, and I've been thinking about how to cope with Big Brother Nigeria, to Fiakwa. And you see the problem with us again. I just said to Fiakwa unconsciously. We are the same. You will hear an Igbo boy will say Nibo. You will hear a Yoruba boy say Kia Kai. We have this thing. But when it comes to these guys that have held us absolutely mentally redundant, when they are to steal our money, when they are to share what belongs to us, they don't say Yoruba. They are not Yorubas. They are not Igbos. They are not Awusas. At that point, they are not. They are common enemies of everyone. They are common enemy of your father, of your mother, of you, of your son, of your daughter, of your brother, of your siblings. Because at that time, they are not Christians anymore. They are thieves. At that time, they are not Muslims anymore. They are thieves. At that time, they are not traditionalists anymore. They are thieves. At that time, they are not Yoruba. They are not Igbo. They are not Ijaw. They are not Hausa. They are thieves. They speak the same language of crime when it comes to that stage. But we think it's just cool that we do. No, it's not cool. You just have to. We all have to. We all have, the smart ones around us, the smart guys around us must. It's not that should. It's a matter of must. Urgency. It's a matter of urgency that the smart guys around us who can think rationally, who can influence one or two people around, should do it. Instead of just keeping quiet and saying, oh, no, the Nigerian system is messed up, so I can't do anything anymore. No, you can do something. Recreate the mind of two people around you positively. Not trying to manipulate or maneuver them to do what is not right. Work together. Some of us are here. Some of us are here. To about what we share with Nigerian folks. We know. To about what we share with Nigerian folks. Nothing now. What can we do? What can a man do? And you know that some of us are here right now that we are just trying to make life meet. Akinwale Olalusi, I've been seeing your comments all along. Do you have a strong connection? Is your connection strong? I just sent you a request. I have 1-2 people more after this. I want to start on to your tent, oh Israel. I want to start over you. Johan, I know the enemies of this program do not want you to come. I'm sending you a request again. People want to listen to you. Kelly, Shomoke, I've been trying to connect you since. What is the way forward? The way forward, tell me. The way forward is that from wherever you are, number one, don't support crime. Number two, don't cover. I'm going to start something like that. Breakup is right, and as you may say, right may be ambiguous, but we all know what is right. You know what is right. Stop depending on these politicians. We should all stop doing rankadede for politicians. We should all stop doing rankadede for politicians. A politician is where we live. They are answerable to the citizens. But in our own country, the citizens are answerable to the politicians. That's it. That's it. That's just it. Breakup may not be. I still don't. Okay, now listen. Okay, Temi has the question here. Do you think breakup is a solution? Do I really think breakup is a solution? As there are suffering Yoruba men, there are suffering Igbo men. When I say Igbo, I mean Southeast. There are suffering Ijo. When I say Ijo, I mean South. There are suffering Middle Beltans. They are suffering everybody. So now look at it. If we break up, why do we break up? Because of the maladministration, because each ethnic group lacks respect for the other one. That's just it. Because when we keep talking about, like Dr. Chidi said earlier, I saw the video where Nnamdi Kanu was agitating for Nigeria. Yeah, when Nnamdi Kanu was agitating for Nigeria, yeah, the same person that was agitating for Nigeria suddenly turned and stopped wanting to hear anything Nigeria anymore. Then at that point, we should know that there is something wrong, fundamentally wrong. Yeah, Fundamentally wrong. Someone who was talking about Nigeria stopped talking about Nigeria. God will not show us the way. Tell me, I will please implore you to stop saying that prayer. God will not show us the way. It's just like you getting married to a beautiful woman. You can't sleep with this girl and you are praying to have a baby. It is someone else that will impregnate your wife. God has given you the brain to do this work. And whatever God has given the brain, for you to know how sophisticated the brain of a man is, human being rather, is. A man designed the airplane. A man designed the high-rising buildings. A man designed the bridges over the oceans and seas and rivers. A man went into the forest, brought a lion, and domesticated the forest, a lion. Then the lion will start playing with you as a pussycat. Then the same brain of a man that created all these things cannot administer a country like Nigeria. You want to know inventions that Nigerians are involved in, but tell me that see an amazing job that was this man Adesina is doing in ADP. Let Adesina come to Nigeria today. If Adesina does not contest on PDP or APC, forget being a president. Adesina is very smart and is doing an amazing job in ADP. Go and check his track record. The old world rose in defense of Adesina. But let this man come to Nigeria. He will be frustrated. Look at Okonjo Iweala. Okonjo Iweala is doing an amazing job as an Igbo woman, as a very smart professor. Nigerians will frustrate her. Look at Dora Akonyele. Nigerians frustrated that woman. And who frustrated her? They are not me. They are not you. Those who frustrated her are not you or me. They are the powers that be. The ones that the Bible called the rulers of darkness. The rulers, Exactly. Nigeria does not have a structure right now. No structure. No structure. No structure. No structure. Be the smartest human being. Tell them I'm ready to help you on something. Huh? They will call you to the corner. They will call you to the corner and ask you, what do you have to offer? I have seen proposals. I've seen proposals of very smart guys, leaders of tomorrow, Adigun. Do you know when you started hearing that? Leaders of tomorrow. Proposals of very smart guys presented to state governments. What did they do with it? Nothing. Look at Oli spoke extensively for about 35 minutes. Tell him to document that and send it to his own state. Tell him, Governor Akeredolu, the sitting governor will not take it. Yeah. If you want to know how useless our political leaders, the governors, the president, the ministers are, right? They know how smart you are. Bro, even look at it. Look at it. Tell me, look at it. Why I mentioned God's name was that we have seen a lot of people coming out as activists and they become in several places, but no one is ready to lead. Look at something. We have activists and we have cash-tivists. Cash-tivists. Some of us can make noise. All we are looking for is attention. If I want attention, If I want attention, I will tell you, Governor Akeredolu is on my Facebook. I have about 4 or 5 senators on my Facebook. I have at least 2 governors on my Facebook that I can say, sir, can I bring you on? I will receive the accolade. They can even give me honorarium for even bringing them to come and say 1 or 2 things. Yeah, I can invite them. Yes, I'm open to inviting any one of them. But at the end of the day, you'll be a victim if you're not careful. So we have activists and we have cash-tivists. A lot of them. Look at Professor Sage, the same Professor Sage, this same Professor Sage, this same Professor Sage. Go and check his track record. He was a good guy. I'm not saying he's not a good guy anymore. But you can imagine him now slaving for a government enslaving people. Can you imagine that man? Slaving for a government enslaving people now. It's just about whatever you know you can do to help your society, help. Do it. Form what we call it is like a community service group. Form it. Start from cleaning the waterways. Start from picking trash in your streets. Then the people can look at you and say, okay, this guy can lead us. You don't have to be the governor before you lead your people. That's what they call some people community leaders. You see, some old school teachers, they are community leaders, though they don't have money. They only wear Ankara and silpers. But they are the leaders in their community because of what they've done. When there are crises in the society, they bring it to them. That's leadership. It could be an Igbo man in a Yoruba setting. It could be a Yoruba man in an Igbo setting. It could be an Hausa man. But when we first, as Yoruba and Hausa and Igbo people, as from every side of the country, it's your Yotunde Abiola Amanda any lady. So form a community service group discussing how to break our Nigeria. Break our Nigeria. We need to break that country and save lives. Oh God, so yeah. You know, Kelly or Modayo guys in like only like Oshiomani. Do you know that? See, exactly. Okay, Oshiomani is an example. That guy that fought Obasanjo, Oshiomani talks from every side of his mouth. Now, and that is that he has always been like that. He has always been like that. People that just, and people, you know, we have a lot of accidental leaders in the country. People like Jonathan Goodluck. Goodluck wasn't so ready to become the president. He wasn't ready. He wasn't prepared to be the president. No. He wasn't ready to be the president. He became the president by accident. Accidental president. Look at people like, if I say now, they will say, but look at people like, Buhari. Buhari is the only man that I know in Nigeria. I keep saying this. Buhari is the only man presently who wanted to be a president of Nigeria. How many times did the guy contest? At least 3 times, and he became president. And if Jonathan Goodluck had not handed over Nigeria to him, they say, oh, the best thing Nigeria never had. You've seen it now. Nigeria has never been worse. Nigeria has never been worse now. At least by Moikeredo, by Atindibo, that's in 1999. Moikeredo. So tell me now, if I've been voting since 1999, I didn't vote 1993, I was in SS1. I've been SS3 or SS1. Yeah. So we're young then. But we want Indibo, the Republic Tower. This time around, we've been voting since 1999. We've been voting since 1999. And Buhari has been contesting since 2003. Yeah, 2003 or 2007. And eventually became the president, 2015. Look at how far we have gone. Down. Then when they want to talk, they say the last government destroyed Nigeria. Yes, we know that they destroyed Nigeria. That's why we voted you to come and repair the rot. Come and repair it. Then you got it more destroyed. It's like you rescuing a raped woman and you are raping her. Yes, that's what they are doing to that country. Helping somebody. Oh, I heard a man, a policeman, who saw a car involved in an accident. Ran there to help them. He ran there to help them. Then found that there was money in the car. And instead of helping those guys, he killed the guy and the wife and took the money. Yes, in that country, Nigeria. Killed them. That's what APC is doing to Nigeria. And no, not APC, not APC, not APC. Please forgive me, not APC. That is what the current government is doing to Nigeria. Yeah, that's what the current government is doing to Nigeria. Do you lock me out? Standard log, do you know? You're not locked out. Nobody's locking anybody out here. You can say, you can express your view. I won't even block anybody. You're free to say your mind. I won't even block, I don't block people. You have the right to say I'm expressing my mind. See, that's this. But there are some amazing APC governors. There are some amazing APC governors that they are doing right. You understand? There are some amazing APC guys that are doing right. There's some APC guys that are doing right in the Senate. But just look at it that way. That's what they're doing to us. You find a raped man, a raped woman, instead of helping you, you rape her again. You say, I will help you. Then you rape her again. What state? What state? What state? Itiola, what state? Okay, East. But please, we've had a very good conversation today. Join me next week. I'll bring in another very amazing man on our program. Let's talk with Itunu El-Akorede. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you. I'll be looking forward to meeting many of you. And please, you are very welcome to give feedback to my inbox. If you need my number, I'll give you my WhatsApp number, give you my direct number. Yeah, please, you are very welcome to give me feedback. I've been trying to add you since. It's not just coming on. I haven't clicked on your icon now. I even clicked on your icon. It's not just, this is not just coming. Your picture is there, but the icon is not showing that I can link you up. So please, then you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel, because all this go straight to the YouTube. Itunu El-Akorede on YouTube. You can subscribe also. So if you miss anyone, Dr. Jibola Fabusui, thank you so much. If you miss anyone, you can always go back to YouTube and hear it. Like I said, you can see there's no echo now. I don't know what happened during Sowore'S. You know what it is. You know what it is. So we're not saying anything. We're not saying anything. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Johan. Inbox me, inbox me, inbox me, inbox me. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time with me today. Please, 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 what we do here, we concentrate on two things: national development and youth works. So you have any question that I can help with? If I cannot help, I look for people I can link you up with. You need career counseling. If I cannot help, I'll get you someone who can help. I have loads and loads of contacts that I can release to the public to help you on a pressing issue. Look at Dr. Jibola Fabusui. He's a university lecturer at OAU, Ile-Ife. He's a postdoctoral student in a postdoctoral candidate in British Columbia in Canada. Follow people like that. You drink from them. You eat from them. You learn from them. Look at Oli. Look at Dr. Chidi. Did you call me? Tell me. Oh yeah, call me back, please. Call me back. We're talking. Okay, this is it. Okay, thanks. No, me a real request here. I can't see the icon. Just keep. Let me give it last trial. Just keep trying something here that is not working, you know. But look out for people. Look out for progressive-minded people who are ready to help at any point. They will help. Don't close your mouth when you need something. Don't close your mouth. Look out for people who can advise you, who can, you know, positively impact you. And before you go, I'll break one news to you. Man City is losing to Lyon. Thank you. Have a beautiful evening. It's 3 o'clock. I'm going to Kwariaza. Bless you.